Hello everyone, it's Scott and welcome back to another episode of Agrarian Skies 2. So, I am now ready, I think, to work on opening a rift to the Primordial Plains, aka opening up the Thaumcraft horizons out here, New Horizons. So, what I've done is I've created a network of I made another node in the jar and cracked it. And what that did was it gave me a node that I could energize. And so what happened then was I put in a node stabilizer and a node transducer to turn it into an energized node. And I surrounded it with 4 transduction amplifiers. So I haven't done anything yet. These guys need to be activated with a piece of redstone before they begin going live. And then I've surrounded it in each of the 6 cardinal directions with Vortex attenuators. Now I've done this twice in a test mode, in creative mode. So what's going to happen is I have about 20 seconds before it all goes to pot. So, so once I activate 4 transduction amplifiers with redstone power, this is going to turn into a rift. And at that point, it acts like a hungry node, and it's going to start breaking apart all the blocks surrounding it. Now, the only way I can stop it is by hitting it with 6 of these vortex attenuators, 1 in each direction. And so what I found, or what I think was going on in the test, was that the hungry node was breaking the block, the redstone block, because I didn't have enough other blocks for it to consume before it decided to chow down. So, a little nervous. I realized I kind of made a mistake putting it so close to the rest of my my base, because I think the radius of a hungry node is pretty large. And but you know what? I'm just going to have to do it and hope for the best. So what I'm going to need to do is basically place down the redstone blocks, wait for this to energize, and then kill this block of redstone. So at that point, I will then have, actually I might be able to kill this fast, because de-energizing, well, we'll see. Alright, so let's just give it a shot. Okay, don't kill me. Okay. Okay. Break. And there we go. Okay. Whew. So that's going to give me the 6 cardinal directions. And we can see that it actually started chewing away the floor. Wow, that was pretty crazy. So it started dissolving the floor. And how far down did it go? I don't think it broke anything past that, though I do have a couple of broken blocks. Okay, so this will give me, so I can go through and just clean this up now that I have a stabilized planar vortex. And here we see that the amount of well, you can't trust these essence anymore, because it's, well, this should be interesting. So according to the book, and I'm in completely uncharted waters at this point, but with the New Horizons, it says that once it's open, well, most materials will not survive immersion. So basically I can right click and get things in and out of the rift, and so it will, just like the portal to Alfheim. If I put things in the vortex, they're going to transform and basically get kicked out as other materials. So I haven't read up anything yet on how to do this. Alright, so I threw in a pearl. Did that actually do anything? No, it went right through. Okay. Right clicking doesn't do it. I don't think the ender pearl actually works. Yep, I'm gonna have to look up how to actually get things in the planar vortex, because I don't think I can just, yeah, see, if I chuck things in, they look like they're going through, not being absorbed. So, alright, so another thing I did in between episodes was set up this Curative Vat. So also in Thaumcraft, under the Thaumic Horizons tree, is I worked my way through the incarnation, and here we see the Curative Vat is a special multi-block that allows you to basically breed monsters or breed clone animals. So if you have blood of monsters or flesh of or various pieces of animals, it's another way of basically growing a farm. So once I went past that, I didn't realize that it hooked up with another tree, which was this Soul Sieve and Inspiratron. So I had built this already to generate, just as a test. It's been kicking out actually a lot of knowledge fragments, 97 knowledge fragments. I don't know what I'm going to do with them all, but in the book, the next step was to build a Soul Forge, and for a while I didn't do anything with it. It's basically drop in a brain in a jar and a lot of material, a lot of essence, and it didn't exactly say what it did, but it did say that it basically the hybrid souls can be a blacksmith, librarian, or thaumaturge, which I thought was you'll need to discover some use for them. Well, it turns out that connecting the two, reincarnation, so if you build a corpse effigy and then give it the brain of what's produced by that Soul Forge, you can create villagers. So what I did, just as an example, corpse effigy, what we do is we put it into the vat in here. So we see we got something in the middle. Looks kind of like a Steve. So it's transforming. Now it's a big Steve. It has a bunch of hearts. And so what I need to do is grab a couple warded jars. Let me head over here to the basically the Soul Forge, the Soul Maker. And so this is hooked up back to the ME system, getting Cognito Essence. And so we have 4 little dots here in the device. So that's basically I can tap 4 souls by right-clicking, and that's going to give me a jarred villager soul. And so what I can do is basically go back to the Curative Vat. I right-click with the soul, and we see that he's now a villager. I grab another of the warded jars, right-click on the vat, and that is going to put the villager in a jar. Just like I have a node in a jar, I have a villager in a jar. So what I've been doing is putting them over here. So I have basically a basically the cook villager, and I lucked out and got the thaumaturge villager. So this guy is giving me conversions of emeralds to fragments, quicksilver to emeralds. Well, yeah, that's fine. I have plenty of both. Emeralds to rings, so kind of interesting. Emeralds to V stones, so that's like a 25 V capacity battery. And then mana beans. So kind of cool. No idea what they do, other than they seem to, they seem to be linked to a particular type of essence. And I think I could probably feed these into the crucible if I didn't have some other way of getting if I hadn't automated the crucible, but by this point, it's a way of getting an exact, precise amount of material so you don't overflow. So I thought that was kind of interesting. And so what happens then is if I get some hardened glass here, grab a couple more. Let's dump out a couple pieces here. 1, 2, 3. And let's put the villager down in here. Let's fill in underneath him just so he doesn't drop down a level. There we go. And then if I tap that with a wand or a scepter, bink, I now have a villager. So one thing I did do in between episodes is that I upgraded my goggles of revealing to include a scholar's lens. And so that's what's automatically scanning everything and putting that tooltip in the middle. And so, okay, interesting. Kiwi. So this guy, I guess, is a farmer, and this guy's a chef, or the butcher. Yeah, I think that's what happened here. So I don't really have use for either, so I'm going to just leave them go for now. So I think I'm a little closer to unlocking the Eldritch Eyes at this point. I'm not sure. What I really need, so I did some research. What I need to get the Eldritch Eyes, or let me do it this way. Over here, the Eldritch Eye, which is used in the recipe to make the portal in the box. I'm going to need 4 of these. And the only way you can get an Eldritch Eye is to kill a Eldritch Guardian, I believe, which only spawn during the fog events when my flux is extremely high. And so, yeah, so I've been trying to find ways to improve, basically increase my taint, my flux on my character, and it's been a little difficult. So I ended up completely fixing the issue with the Tainted Land. And like I said before, I wanted, so all these are back to ocean biome, and the taint has not spread in my base. But what I did was, I said I was going to build an area away from the base that I could safely manage the Tainted Land. So that's what I did. All right, let me switch to the daytime so that way we can see this a little better. So I'm subscribed to a couple other YouTubers. I'm watching their Agrarian Skies 2 series. Just trying to get some pointers and some of the mods that I'm not that familiar with. And so I was watching Hypnotized, who has quite a lot of pretty informative videos, and it just so happens that he was posting a thing on how to create the slimes, basically the same episode that I was posting, how to create the Thaumic slimes. And one of the differences in his design was he introduced me to this dark glass. So I literally had no idea that this stuff existed, and it's actually pretty cheap. And so it's a see-through material that still acts to block all light underneath. So inside this glass, it still appears that it's dark enough that pitch black that it's going to spawn mobs regardless of day or night cycle. So, with that, I saw that under the alchemy tab, there's a research that's unlocked off of all the way to the left here called Bottled Taint that basically allows you to take the Vidium, the Taint Essence, and create Bottled Taint. And so when you throw the Bottled Taint around, that's what's going to automatically spread the Tainted Land biome. So here we see that it's been spreading in this area. It's been turning all the grass to this purple mush. There's like some kind of vine that's spreading, and more importantly, I'm getting these tentacles. So I was able to go in and capture one of those icky-looking things, and basically throw it into the auto spawner, and basically create a whole bunch of these taint tendrils. And so anyway, once I was able to get the dark glass, I ended up using it over back here in the old mob farm, and so this way I can kind of peek in and see what's going on. I figure I'd start getting rid of the conveyor belts and convert everything to just the cursed earth, and so I'm just harvesting things normally with a set of grinders up here rather than having stuff drop. I don't think there's any difference in having them drop onto the iron spikes or not, and I just have all the items routing the same way anyway. And I just needed a more consistent way to get the essence, and yeah, so I'm allowing this to just build up again. I had ran it down to 0 with all the slimes and stuff. So at this point, I'm just trying to find a good way to get those Eldritch Guardians, and then I can progress with Thaumcraft. So over here, speaking of Thaumcraft, I'm getting a Thaumcraft event. So let me wait for this to pass. Alright, that's done. So, as I was saying, I used the formulas to knock out 3 more Kekimuras, and so these guys all together can blow through a phenomenal amount of cakes. And so I don't really have a good way to place the cakes. I did a little research. There's supposed to be like a flower that can place items, but I can't seem to figure out how to pipe it into the one of these Wren and Carpus. I'm gonna have to find a video that kind of explains how to do it, or if anybody knows how to do it, please leave a comment in the or a comment in the video. I really don't understand how it's supposed to work. I think it's supposed to place it on the similar space block, but I've been throwing items at it and I just can't get it to absorb anything, so to actually work. So any help would be greatly appreciated. So this has been able to fill up the mana pool, so I ended up making elven mana spreaders. So, and started replacing some of my other spreaders with the Elementium material, and so from there I've been able to basically fill up my my mana pools here. So that's working out very well. And so at this point I think I have surplus mana. Now I did run into a problem. I can't I can't do too many runes at the same time here in the I can't do a full automation, as you can see that everything just got all backed up in the runic altar. So I'll have to find another way to actually work with that. So anyway, so that's kind of a full review of what I've worked on in between episodes. So let's see if I can find something new to work on for the remainder of this one. Okay, this was a little painful, but I think I managed to actually get somewhere. So what I ended up doing was going under the Golemancy tree, and I ended up getting all of the Golem upgrades. So these were pretty simple. They actually did not use a lot of research, but basically these items basically allow you to augment the attack of a golem and do various things. Set them on fire, add strength, uh, whatever, increase movement speed. And so once all 6 were unlocked, it gave advanced golems. So this gave the ability to infuse a normal golem and upgrade them to give an additional slot, move faster, larger radius, blah, blah, blah. With advanced golems unlocked, we jump back to Thaumic Horizons, and that unlocked Animation Powder, which is hanging off the Incarnation branch. So this powder basically can take any material that's a block and turn it into a temporary golem, and then you add a golem core to the to that temporary golem to make it permanent. So you can make it suggested like non-normal blocks like cake. So that's kind of interesting. So so once I unlocked Animation Powder, it unlocked this off of New Horizons, Voidling Golems. So all I need to do is get 2 more of the ghost research here. Click, click, and unlock Voidling Golems. So basically, if we take one of these powders and throw it into our rift, what's going to happen is it's going to kick back a voidling. And so the problem is, what I've read is that the voidlings have kind of an interesting property. So let's see if I can get this to work. So, alright, so that just dropped a little guy. Where's he going? Alright, Mr. Voidling. Okay, hello. How you doing? It's pretty much the scariest voidling, scariest golem. Has no face, just kind of stares at you. And what I've read is that these guys have a chance to turn into an Eldritch Guardian. So let's see if I can... something is following me. Yeah, this guy, right? No, I think that was just a coincidence. So, let's head down to a flat surface. Alright, so what's supposed to happen is if I look away for an extended period of time, this guy is supposed to start chanting. In fact, let me create some more of these powders. So, just normal Salus Mundus. Let's grab let's see if I can trigger a couple more. One of your golems has begun softly chanting. Okay. In the distance you hear hollow laughter. Alright, so now I have to get my act together. Apparently that is the key that they are summoning an Eldritch Guardian. Alright, so I summon a couple more. See if I can speed this up. So if I go over and ignore them, or don't watch them, let's say. Though they are kind of following awfully close here. Maybe it only happens at night? I don't know. Hey guys. Here we go. Eldritch Guardian. Okay, so one of my Voidlings turned into an Eldritch Guardian. And I didn't get anything. I just got a Amulet of V storage out of this. Actually, that's a pretty cool item. Let's go make some more golems. Maybe I can trigger this a little faster. Do you think I have enough of them now? In the distance you hear hollow laughter. So I was able to summon a couple of the Eldritch Guardians, but I don't have I hadn't had any luck yet. I did get a Fortune 3 on my Matic, so if anything does spawn, I'm hoping that this is my best chance of getting a looting equivalent. So at this point, I just have to like camp out and wait, and if I can just get one example on camera, then I'd feel comfortable just doing all this grinding off camera until I get at least the 4 that I need to make the portal in the box. Oh, here we go. Alright, so one of these guardians has just spawned, and my golems are beating the crap out of it. Oh my gosh. Well, thanks guys, but you didn't really let me get a chance to, well, yeah, so I'm just going to do this off camera. All my little guys are, it looks like it killed quite a number of them, but so I'm going to try to summon those guardians, see if I can get an eye, and so if you could, please leave a like or a comment. Am I on the right track here? I think I got a lot of the Thaumcraft stuff done this episode. These little guys, you know, they just kind of have to do their business. And yeah, we'll see if I can get some eyes off camera. So I will see you next time on Agrarian Skies 2. Bye.